Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There's Black Rhino from Royal Bliss, and with us today is a friend of Rock and Metal Revival. We welcome back Neal-Middleton-RoyalBliss to the Revival. How you doing, partner?
I'm doing amazing. How you guys doing?
Good. It's always good to talk to you. It seems like forever since the last time you and I talked, and you've got this killer new track out with Full Moon Rising. You got Black Rhino out, a new album called Survival, the tour coming up. So Royal Bliss is kind of busy, aren't you?
Oh man, it's insane. We're just starting to really pick it up right now. We got a song that's being released next week that was a collab with another band out of Utah called Citizen Soldier. That song's called Through Hell, and I have high hopes for that one. I think people are really connecting with the message behind that song. And then our album comes out April 7th. We do a big CD release thing here in Salt Lake. I think we might be coming out to your area. I just got to lock down the details around the 22nd of April, hopefully, to do like a CD release out there with the Wisconsin and Northern Illinois world. And then, yeah, we hit the road in May, and we'll be back out there touring in July, touring in August, touring in October. It's going to be a very, very busy year for us.
Nice. Now, you've been putting out singles, so this album's been what, since before the pandemic? So, I mean, how long of a process was putting this album together, and what can we expect on it?
Well, we actually recorded it in 2020, basically during the pandemic. Okay. Off and on. Just went in because we didn't have a whole lot else to do, and it worked out pretty well actually, because it allowed us to be home. We've been a band that's been on tour basically for 22 years, and the pandemic forced us to be home and create. So it was really cool to be able to get together with us, and we had our own little rock and roll bubble, I guess you could say. And just write and jam in a very comfortable environment where we were able to go home afterwards. And we weren't in some studio in Nashville or Portland or anywhere else. It was every night we were in our beds, and we were able to create some pretty awesome music. And obviously the times were very turbulent and crazy, so there's plenty of material to sing about.
Nice.
And I'm excited. I mean, a lot of these songs, have been released. Like Medications on this album, and Black Rhino, and Full Moon Rising, and Ritalin, and we've released, I think, 6 songs off the record already, but that's kind of the way it goes now.
Yeah.
And then there'll be five unreleased songs that no one's heard yet that'll be out on April 7th.
Outstanding.
Sweet.
Now, Neal, you were just talking about that track Through Hell, and I got to hear just a little clip of that you did with Citizen Soldier. That comes out, you said, Wednesday. How did that all come about? Because I'll tell you what, the little bit of that clip I heard, that is a killer tune.
Yeah, it's a good jam. It was just, they've been a band that's here in Salt Lake playing around. We had them at the Royal a few times, and we've had them open for us a couple times, and just a conversation came up of, hey, would you guys like to write a song together and maybe do a co-release? And I was like, sure. And we went down there and wrote the song together, and went to Nashville with them and recorded it, and it turned out phenomenal. And they're a band. It's kind of funny. They're the new school, and we're the old school. And so they have a huge following online, over 500,000 followers on TikTok, and their streaming numbers are through the roof, but they've never really done radio or toured. So we're like, all right, well, we'll run the radio and touring side of it. We'll take you out and introduce you to our fan base and kind of show you how it works that way, being on the road and working with radio. And then you guys do the TikTok stuff, because I don't want to do that stuff. So it's worked out really well. They've exposed us to a whole new fan base, and we're going to expose them to a new one as well. So it's a lot of people in rock aren't doing that, but you see it in hip-hop, you see it in country, and where you collaborate with people in the same genre, then you kind of share your fan base, and I think it's a really good model that more rock bands should use, so it won't be the last time we do it.
Nice. Now, I checked out your website, and I really like the new merch you got for their Survival album.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how does vinyl sell compared to the CDs? I mean, I've always wondered that. Is vinyl coming? You sound a lot of vinyl these days compared to CDs?
Oh yeah.
Or?
Vinyl actually sells better than CDs for the most part, but they're so much harder to get. They're more expensive.
Oh yeah.
But like me, I've had a couple, players over the past 10 years. I've got myself a new one, and I actually prefer listening to music in my living room on a record.
Yes.
It's something about picking up that vinyl and turning it over whenever you got to turn it over to listen to the other side, and something about the sound, man. It's just more personal and more of a connection to the music. It's not so accessible by, hey, Steery, play this song. It's there's just a tangible element to it that I think is more of an art, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's a new trend, I think, in media as far as that form. It's one of the only forms of sellable media that has actually increased over the past 20 years, like where CD sales are down, but vinyl is way up.
Nice.
Now, Neal, I just saw the other day that you guys are going to get out on the road with Citizen Soldier and the Black Moods, and I see you're coming to Broadfest. That seems like to be becoming an old home for you guys to play at that gig.
Yeah, I think we play it every year. Every year that it's held, we've been there, and we just kind of hold that weekend no matter what. It's such a good time, man. It's such a cool festival, and it's free to the public, and they bring in some great acts. They gave us the choice of what day to play this year, and when we saw that Tone Loc and Kid and Play were going to be there, we're like, we want that day. It's pretty funny, but we're really excited to be on that stage that day. We're gonna get down.
So, what's your favorite brat topping?
Well, I mean, my favorite is just good old stone ground mustard. But I'm pretty old school with just some kraut and mustard.
Nice.
That's all I really need, unless there's some like really good peppers, like toss the Jordanaires on there.
Oh yeah.
There's some out here in Washington I like called Mama Lil's.
Nice.
So
Nice.
My parents live up in a town called Leavenworth, which is a German town, like Bavarian style. So they're known for all their bratwursts, and they got the Mama Lil's and some really good mustards, and there's a sweet curry mustard that I just love. Nice. Make me hungry. Stop talking about it.
Sorry, man.
Well, you're on your way here this weekend, and that was where my next question was directed towards, Neal. I mean, being a band from Utah, did you ever think you'd spend as much time here in the Midwest and in the state of Wisconsin as you have in the last 22 years?
No. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't something. It's weird that the roads and trails that this music life has taken me down is not anywhere that I expected to go. But it's been an amazing journey. I've loved every bit of it, and that's my favorite part. Is like there's just something about Wisconsin and that area that we just connect. Our music connects. We connect with the people. We get along. I don't know. It's just there's a mutual understanding that I probably should have lived in Wisconsin, and of course it's not off the table. You never know. I love it, man. Cheese curds and sausage and beer for breakfast. It's like, oh God, let's speak my language.
I always said that you guys should probably buy a home here and just store your gear. That way you wouldn't have to haul it across the country.
I ain't gonna lie, man. We've looked quite a few times. I wish we would have done it, years ago. But like 5 to 10 years ago, I wish we would have just saw the future.
Yeah.
But it was tough at that time. But we still look. I still have it on my Zillow reports. Whenever I open my email, there's still homes in that area. Like, it's not off. That one's not off the table either. Just buying a band home and keeping a van and trailer there full of gear ready to tour. I'm like, but I'd probably spend way more time there, which would be dangerous.
Nice. Now, I was looking at your website and going through some of the videos and stuff, and I really like that smoking weed in my underwear video. Do you guys have a little fun doing that, or what?
Oh yeah, it was colder. It was colder than it looks in that video.
Yeah, because you were in the water floating around.
Yeah,
and stuff.
We're in the water in the mountains. That's the thing. We were on this little river that was behind a mountain cabin and floating in, basically snow runoff. And it was extremely cold, but we had a blast that day. It was way too much fun. I'm glad I'm glad we didn't use any of the later footage that night, because it would have been we'd been in a lot of trouble.
Uh-oh.
Now, Neal, like we just said, you're coming to Wisconsin this weekend. You do these. You've come here quite a few times doing these acoustical things with Michael Alexander. I mean, is that just an escape for you from the whole band thing to just do different types of music and sing different songs?
Well, I mean, I do play a lot of the Royal Bliss stuff, but a lot of the Royal Bliss stuff I wrote on an acoustic guitar, so it's good for me to get out of my comfort zone and be able to hide behind the band and put a guitar in my hand to get out there and sing and play some of these songs the way they were written instead of the way they were produced. And then, play some cover songs. Like, sometimes you have 4 or 5 guys in a band and they're all complaining, like, I don't want to play that song, or I don't want to play this song. And me and Brian are just kind of like, yeah, whatever, sure, let's learn this one, let's play this one. And so, yeah, it's good. It's good to get out, and because I'm nervous as hell. I'm more nervous doing these shows by far than playing in front of thousands of people at Royal Bliss. It's like whenever there's 100, 200 people out there watching, I'm shaking. The less, the more nervous I am.
Nice. So you think the song from the album Royal Bliss, Light of the Moon, you think that song could have benefited from adding some cowbell?
Could it use some cowbell?
Yeah. You think that could have used some cowbell? Seemed kind of mellow. Seemed like it needed a little, not in any sort of time or anything, just a random cowbell.
Cowbell? It sounds like a pan.
Yep, it's dinner bell.
That's awesome.
Time for brats. Come get them.
Time for brats. Oh, God. It's funny. I'm sure in certain parts of Wisconsin, when you bang that bell, people just start drooling.
Yeah, exactly. To make it a her hit here, it has to have some cowbell. But
yeah, when you play Bratfest, just add cowbell to every song.
Yeah,
and dude, you will all the other stages will clear, and everybody will be at your show.
Yeah,
they'll hear the calling.
Yeah. Yes.
Get out there and do your best, Will Ferrell, and the people of Wisconsin will flock.
The spotted cowbell.
There you go.
That's what you need. You need to get a cowbell that has spots on it than the spotted cowbell.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Well, mine's infected a little bit, so it does kind of a little pussy spots on it, but.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend up in Beaver Dam at Stormy's. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and we're looking forward to this album. And
definitely,
we always let the tell everybody if they want to find out more about Royal Bliss, where they can find out about you guys.
RoyalBliss.com is the best spot. That's where you can find all our links to tours, all our socials, merchandise, everything like that. So www.royalbliss.com.
Outstanding. And we always let the artist pick the song out of the interview, buddy. So what from your catalog would you like us to play?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. Well, being that we have St. Patrick's Day coming up, do All For Me Grog.
All For Me Grog. I love this tune. Neal Middleton, it has been a pleasure to have you on, and we hope to see you real soon, my friend.
All right, brother. Thank you, guys.